What?
But is the Milky Way actually levitating though?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I want you.
You didn't even put on the fucking camera.
This is. Maybe you should be over there. It's kind of uneven. This is just
I mean, what if the other
ones
ones show up?
Well, okay, that's a good point.
That's why I'm over here in the first place.
All right, I'm gonna turn you down a little bit. You're a little loud.
Am I really loud?
Yeah, for once you're
Hell
actually
yeah,
a little
let's
loud.
freaking go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the exciting episode of the
We
CodeO-cast!
have 0 viewers. Let's fucking go.
Anyways, that was a little much. That was a little much.
God damn it. We have 0 viewers. What the fuck?
Welcome to episode 66, everybody.
Episode 66. When are we going to get to episode 666? That's going to be a great episode.
Well, by my
That'll be
calculations,
It'll be another, what, 5 years? It's okay. We got time. Nobody's here.
yeah. If no one knows what I'm doing, I'm looking at the calendar. I'm currently in 2026. Nope, I lost count. Oh well.
God damn it.
Anyways, my name is Omar, and I'm here with.
Codes. And what the fuck happened to the camera there?
What do you mean? What happened to it?
It turned off for a second.
Oh, it's because like I was
you're
moving stuff
the thing.
around.
Okay, I got it.
Cody,
Yes.
I've been out for a while. Like aside from last week that we did the football team special.
Yeah.
Been out for a while, dude.
Yeah, man.
What have you been doing while I've been out? For those that don't know, I've been out of town frequently for like the past month and a half. How's life been, my guy?
It's been
It's been
roughly.
roughly.
Yeah. The only good thing that happened was that I scored a touchdown at the last game, and that was it.
How did that happen?
So, I burned a guy many times in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Dude could do nothing but face mask me the entire freaking time. And nobody called it either.
Yeah.
I got held a bunch during the game. Nobody called it. The only thing they called was when somebody sent me flying with an illegal block in the back. That was it.
What's an illegal block like how does that get determined?
So if you push somebody on their back, that's illegal block in the back. You can't push somebody on the back who's facing away from you. You can't. You have to block them from the side or from up front. That's it.
You know, that makes sense actually.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you can.
It's just like if somebody's not looking at you and you target them in the temple, that's called blindsiding.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also not good.
We
have 1 viewer.
Woo! No, yeah, I've been out of the state for a few times, and honestly, like it's kind of funny. Like I've spent more time like on buses and cars, like traveling, that I haven't slept in my bed in like a while.
How'd it feel?
It's weird. It's like if we were like on a tour or something. Because I mean, it's technically like we are, but we're not like in that kind of tour where we're constantly out for like a week straight.
That's when you become famous.
I know, but that like we would leave for a weekend and come back, but like the constant amount of doing it, especially like this past whole month, it's exhausting. It's cool. You get to see some new places. I mean, a lot of it was still in Texas. One of it was in Vegas, but like it was interesting, especially in Vegas. Like, I've never been there. Reminded me a little bit of New York, but maybe not as sketchy in some parts, because we the hotel that we were staying at was mainly on the Vegas Strip, so everything was very illuminated. Still some sketchy people, but I guess not as bad as when I went to New York in 8th grade. So it was pretty funny. It's like I think at one point we were passing by a karaoke bar that was like they were about to close, so they were having their last 2 girls like just sing, but these girls, you could tell they were already past their limits in terms of alcohol. And they were singing Breaking Free from High School Musical.
No.
And if for those who don't know, most pop songs, if not all pop songs, include a key change. And a lot of the time that means you have to sing higher at a certain point in the song, and them being drunk, I don't think they expected it, because they're like singing the chorus, but then they have to run back to the iPad to read the verses because they don't know the verses. They just know the chorus like most people do. So they're like, oh, we're breaking free song, and then it gets to the key change. They're like, we're breaking free side. Like their voices just can't reach what it's supposed to be. We're breaking free soaring, flying.
I guess you can say it was a key change that's a little hit or miss.
It was a key change that they just did not know was coming, and they were not prepared. So it was hilarious to walk by, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" Like they're getting it. Like people, they were like, they had energy. They were having fun. But as soon as that keychain came, they were all like, "Oh my gosh!" Like they just like dropped the mic. They didn't drop the mics, but they like lowered their mics and looked at each other like, and then they kept going. They just screamed it. It was great. That was really great. Like there's other moments, but that's one of the big ones.
Is honestly some of the best videos I've ever seen. Those are great, man.
You've seen other drunk people singing?
Yeah, many times. It's fucking funny.
Did they have karaoke where you used to work like a couple years
like
back?
At the bars?
Yeah.
And stuff? No.
No.
But people would still sing regardless.
Oh gosh.
It was funny.
That's because I don't know. No, I don't sing well either. I'm not gonna sit here and say I do, but we all have that misconception. Is like we hear ourselves a certain way, but what's coming out of the microphone is something else. So it's like respect for those who can do.
Yeah, we're just sing. You think you sound good, then you hear it back, and you're just like, I want to kill myself.
You're like,
yeah,
dang it. And then like you're pouring. Like the worst part is, especially when you're pouring your heart and soul into a song, you think you're doing very well, and in your mind you're hitting like every single pitch, every single note. You play it back and you're just like, dang it.
Well,
and that's with any musician. I mean,
that too with voice acting as well.
No, yeah. Like let's say there's sometimes where I record like my trumpet playing in the practice rooms to see if I'm doing well. I'm like, hey, I think that was a good run. Let me hear it back. Oh, that wasn't as good as I thought. But it helps. It helps to like for like stuff like this to record yourself and to hear back if that's if you're working on anything like artistry wise, whether it be acting, playing an instrument or singing. It's like it takes for self-criticism is very well welcomed, and it's something that you need to do. I know that's something I had to deal with because me. I sometimes still suffer from this terrible habit that I don't like being told when I'm wrong. And I need, and that's the worst part. I don't like being told when I'm wrong, but when I am, I'm doing better of owning up to it.
Oh yeah.
Like, especially like, dude, in high school, and when my section leaders would tell me that I was wrong, I would get mad. Like I would get mad back at them. Like now I've learned, I'm more mature about that, and I'm just like, when people tell me something, because like now I'm in a much better group that everybody's there to help each other out, and I think that's a great mindset. It's amazing because when someone not calls you out but tells you something and to do it with the intention to help you out and not just scream at you, now I don't get mad. I'm just like, hey, thank you. Like even though I'm royally messing up, thank you for letting me know, because there's a difference between letting someone know that they're messing up and just like letting it happen. That's where the attitude is, like where the mindset is best. But I know I still have suffered from that habit and trying to change it, but I have that bad habit.
Yeah.
Does it happen to you when people tell you you're doing wrong in a game or something?
No. When it was with the Phantoms, when they would tell me that I'm doing something wrong, I knew I was doing something wrong because these guys have been experienced for like years already.
Yeah.
Like that team has been playing together for like 6 years now. But when it comes to the Arsenal, there's some people who would, like the older guys would tell me, hey, like, make sure you're doing this, make sure I'm like, okay, cool. I do that, and then they're like, make sure you do this, make sure I'm like, oh, I just was doing this. So it's like, with the Arsenal, it's inconsistent at best. And then eventually it gets to the point where I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I just ignore them and do what I think is best, which normally is best. Because, especially with the last game, too, I had a beautiful interception. Beautiful.
Yeah.
But my teammate came out of nowhere going for the same ball, and that's how I got bruised ribs.
Dang.
Yeah. And that was right before the half, too, and we didn't have any replacements. So I had to play the rest of the game with bruised ribs. I took so many freaking shots. It was terrible.
Dang.
Yeah.
Is that the game where you weren't answering your phone?
Yeah. Yeah, I told Mom straight up, like, because she asked me about it yesterday, too. I told her straight up, yeah, no, I was too busy worrying about my ribs and making sure I was good to drive that I didn't call you. And then once I was going to get in the car, I was going to call her. Mm-hmm. And I told her that you were over in Dallas.
Yeah, I was out of town again with a competition, so it was like terrible timing. Because I literally found out because my girlfriend told me. He's like, hey, Cody's he's here, he's good now, but he's injured. Just to let you know. I'm like, okay, well, as long as he's good, but you know,
shit hurt.
I'm sure it hurt.
Like legit, I had to hold out for the rest of the game with that. After the game, I collapsed on the sideline, and Like, it just sucked. It got to the point where I was like kind of tearing up because of how bad it hurt. I couldn't even like breathe right. I was heavy breathing the entire game and afterwards too. So it was a good thing that my coach and the Kings kind of helped me out at the end.
Yeah.
They like gave me ice. They gave me something to drink and stuff.
Suck on first aid kit.
Yeah, basically.
Dude,
Mexican moms. Ponle Vicks, ándale.
No, dude. I think so.
Sana,
sometimes
de rana.
Well, so we have props. So we have big props for the show that we're doing, and then sometimes like I don't do it often, but if they need it, like I'll help out unload stuff. And one of the guys got cut, and it wasn't like a big cut; it was like a deep cut. What was funny was that one of the guys that was unloading, he said, "Hey, I have a first aid kit in my trumpet case." I'm like, "What?" And I opened his case so I can get it, and he legitimately had a first aid kit in his trumpet case. Who knew?
Hey, yo, it's always good to be prepared, man.
Yeah, but I would never expect it for that to be in an instrument case.
When it comes to marching band, I mean, from my experiences with marching band, you need a first aid kit in your case. Especially when you have guard that hit the crap out of your saxophone and nearly hit you. And it's like, fuck, I'm glad I have my first aid kit, because then if that had hit me, that would have been nasty.
Dude, screw some of the drill writers sometimes when they give you that set that's right next to them, and sometimes they accommodate for the space of the flag, but they won't accommodate for the what if situation where the flag just goes maybe a bit too far, and you're like, ah.
Dude, I remember marching, right?
Yeah.
And this was at a high school game over in Rio Hondo. I marched. I had my saxophone down. It was great. We march forward. That's all we're doing. Just marching forward back towards like where the people are.
Yeah.
The guards marching this way with their flag. The freaking flag hit the crap out of my mouthpiece and destroyed the reed.
Dang.
I was like, damn it, no!
But it didn't destroy the mouthpiece, right?
No, I didn't. But I don't use that mouthpiece anymore anyways. That's with my beginner saxophone.
Oh, okay.
But still, like, as soon as it destroyed the reed, I'm like, no! I couldn't play for the rest of the night.
Was it the good reed?
It was my only reed.
Oh, no. That's a terrible situation.
Yeah. Legit, it looked like the reed had folded in half. At the top, because you can't exactly do that with the bottom. Like the top where it's most flimsy, it looked terrible.
Dang.
I was like, damn it, no! My reed!
Oh no! My reed is broken! Legitimately broken!
Exactly, dude. I'll never forget that night. That was so terrible.
Is that when you didn't have the long hair? Is that back then?
Yeah.
When you had like the military cut constantly?
Pretty much. That was when I had the military cut. Yeah.
So is that like the worst haircut you'd say you've ever had?
No, I had a bowl cut back in middle school. Well, not even like the full bowl cut. It was like a bowl cut in the front, and then it just like dipped down. It looked terrible.
I think I found it cool in middle school, but in retrospect, it wasn't really that cool. No. I tried to have the mohawk, like, well, the one where you still have hair.
Mohawk.
But like where it's like this, it didn't even go all the way to the back. It came like probably here, and they was stopped. I found it cool, but then around like 8th grade, I decided maybe this is not my look. So what I decided to do is I put this and I put it like this, just like one little scoop like this. I can't do it anymore because I've molded my hair. Like, I didn't decide to change my hairstyle until college. I went from like 8th grade all the way to my freshman year of college.
The first time I saw you had like a shark fin.
Yeah, it was like a shark fin like
the
this.
Markiplier shark
yeah, it was like the
fin,
Markiplier shark fin. Yeah, I basically look like Markiplier a little bit. But now I decided this all front hair goes up. So I think this is how it looks best. Mm-hmm. Like the way I have it now is probably the way I'll always keep.
Back then, actually I still have the picture. But yeah, back then. This was around the time where like the long-haired boys were all popular and shit.
Yeah.
So I tried to replicate that in elementary school, and then 6th grade, I messed it all up terribly.
With the bowl cut?
Yeah, with the here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, picture.
That's the bowl. That's the bowl cut. That's
it's not just the top bowl either. It's like the almost Dora-like haircut.
And then it's like the two buck tooth teeth just showing, just like, hi, I'm Cody.
It was terrible, dude. So I was like, long-haired boys are in, hell yeah. But I did the wrong style because I was a freaking idiot kid.
But
I was like, you know what? I want my bangs to be a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
And everything.
So I can see.
So They just ended up doing this. They didn't even like do like what they do now. Like,
Where they style it.
Where they style it? No, they just like went straight across. I was like, no!
I look like a girl.
After that, I was like, fuck, dude. And then I fixed it where I got it like kind of shorter in the back.
Yeah.
Almost like how I had it when you first met me, but this
Uh-huh.
was still really long. Like my bangs would go up to here. And I'd always have them in my face too.
You were the you were protagonist of a
I
certain
was
genre.
the very...
You were
Yeah.
you were the protagonist of a certain genre.
I was. For the
Certain
longest
anime
time. And I look stupid doing it.
The
And-
whole thing where it's like
You remember the peace sign selfies?
which the
The
ones
ones where you
this?
just go like this or like this and like
No, it was like this, right? Because you're doing it with the phone, they're doing a
Kinda.
selfie.
yeah. I used to do those.
You used to do those?
Yeah.
I mean, I do it. I do the.
Yeah.
I do the peace sign when I'm posing for pictures. That's usually my go-to because why not? But like, if I'm by myself, I would usually do that. But or if I have nothing to hold while I'm posing. But I never did that because I was never really like I was not too photogenic when I was younger. Now I am a little bit more. Because I have a proper smile now. Before I would literally smile with my whole row
God,
of
I
teeth,
hate it.
2 rows of teeth showing.
I fucking hate it.
The cool guy in the back seat of the car taking a selfie
I hate
with
it.
the
dude.
bangs all over
Dude,
the eyes.
Looking back at my old pictures, it's so fucking terrible. I hate it. And then I'll look down too, so you can see like a double chin.
Yeah.
I legit look like one of those kids. It's like, hey yo, I play Fortnite. Show me your pictures.
I know.
It's so fucking stupid, dude. Oh god. It wasn't until like legit in college that I was like, okay, now I know how to style it.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, oh, it's styled. Great.
Well, I think there's a thing. There's that whole like concept of like high school kids becoming like too aware or too self-conscious. But even then, just because they're self-conscious, like to an extreme, doesn't mean that they're making proper like decisions when it comes to the way they style themselves.
Now in high school, when I came to high school, sorry, the neck strap from earlier
Yeah.
left a bunch of crap on me.
Yeah.
But in high school, I had the haircut that I had was almost like when you first met me, but still kind of like a mix between middle school and when you first met me.
Yeah.
And then as a Mother's Day gift, I had my mom cut it. And that's when it went really short, but it was still kind of long, but it was like a kind of a comb over long that looked like a cap right here.
Yeah.
Kind of. So I'd always put like something to style it with. And it looked like the nerdiest shit ever.
I'm sure it
It was
did.
terrible. I'll probably
I'm
show
sure
you a
it
picture
did.
later. But it looked terrible. And then after that, I was like, you know, I'm going to make it a little bit shorter on top.
Mm-hmm.
Still keeping it short. And that's when that style came out.
There you go.
Yeah. It still looked like if I styled it upwards, kind of, but
Yeah.
it's just because of how poofy my hair was. Like, if you were to see my old Instagram pictures, you could see, like, it looked really long on top, kind of, but still up.
Or your Kick profile picture. You remember those?
Oh, dude, Kick. No, with Kick, did you ever, like, have those friends that were going through some shit, so they put,
Oh, they
like, a
put the
black-
background, and
And
then
then
they
they put
just put a
dots.
dot. No,
Yeah.
sometimes they just put a single dot on their name instead of their name
Yeah.
on their profile name.
Dude, I was that cringy kid that did that shit.
I didn't do that, but like when I had like my, it was either my crush or a girlfriend. Like when I had my ex-girlfriend at the time, she would do that. So like that's how I knew I messed up or I did something wrong. 'Cause she would do that, and I'd be like, "Hey, you doing okay?" It's like, looking back, it was kind of cringe. It was pretty
It was
cringe.
really cringe. It
was
wasn't
really
kind of
cringe.
cringe. It was really cringe.
It was really cringe.
Dear God, I hate this haircut so much. Why did I ever allow this to happen?
Because we found it cool. We thought
I didn't find it cool. I just thought it was better than what it looked like before. Oh God, my tan lines are terrible.
Well, being not in the sun for so long doesn't really help.
And not using sunscreen too.
Well, I mean, yeah. I never use sunscreen either. Now I have a permanent like farmer's tan, and I don't care. I mean, I usually use long sleeves anyway, so it doesn't really bother me. So,
Nah, dude. It's like back then I was like, you know what? Sunscreen is too much of a hassle to put on. Plus, I don't really like the way it feels. I'm just gonna go without it. And the thing is, I wouldn't get like really badly sunburned or anything. I would just get super freaking tan, like super dark. And then one day at the beach, I got really badly sunburned. So after that, I was like, you know what? I'll use like the spray thing. If I'm gonna be out all day in the sun, then I'll put like the sunscreen on.
No, during rehearsals outside for more like marching band or stuff like that. At first they were like only use the spray because some people are allergic to like the cream or stuff like that, and then they were like don't use the spray because it's leaving,
Over.
it's leaving a bunch of like stains from it being used inside or outside. So we couldn't use one, and then we couldn't use the other. It was a whole thing. And now I need to be taking sunscreen because a lot of the performances that we go to now, like the group that I'm in now, they usually have a preliminaries and they have the finals. So in between, if we're not rehearsing and we just finished going to eat lunch in between, we're kind of just chilling outside. And sometimes I don't have the mindset or like the concept that the sun is still beating on me on my face. So after we come back home, like after 2 days later, I'm all red because I don't get tan. My face gets red because of how white I am. So like I'll come back like it's all red. I'll be burnt from my neck. But now I'm learning more. This past time that I went, I was still like pretty red, but I didn't come back like burnt to the point where it's hurting my face or my neck. Like
Nah, dude.
I've been learning.
With me, since I was in both football and marching band,
Yeah.
I was out in the sun all day.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like solid tan lines.
Hey yo.
Solid tan lines, dude. Like it wasn't even fade out or anything. It was just a solid line there.
That's like Neapolitan ice cream almost.
Basically, it was. That's how bad like my tan lines were back then. Like now, if I were to like go into the sun, would I still use sunscreen? Probably not. But I wouldn't be out in the sun as much.
Yeah.
Now because I don't have to do all that stuff. But yeah, back then like tan lines were just terrible.
Well, we didn't really care much about it because, like, you had kids wearing, like, literal, like, oversized jackets in the middle of the Texas hot sun
I
just
was that kid,
because
too.
they didn't want to show uniform. Like, that, I was one of them, too. Like, I stopped, like, my junior and senior year because I got advice from, like, people that I knew back then who told me it's, like, not to do that because you could overheat. So what I settled for, so my uniform in high school was, for freshmen, it was blue polos, like kind of like a navy blue polo. Anything for sophomore and above was either a white or a red polo with like jeans, like blue jeans and like tennis shoes. So what I did is I wore a long sleeve, thin like overshirt that I would let the collar pop out, so it would still show to the teachers and principals that I still had my uniform under. I just wore something over it so I wouldn't have to show my uniform, and I wouldn't have to wear a jacket either. So it was less of a hassle, and it was just as comfortable.
I know for us, it was just all the same polo for every grade except for seniors. Seniors, as long as you wear any type of maroon shirt, you're good. So seniors got like a little bit more slack with it. So senior year, I was just like wearing like just random like shirts. I wouldn't even wear the polo because that thing looked terrible, and it felt it felt comfortable. It felt because it was like dry fit, so it felt like athletic clothes, but still like indoors it was terrible because I would freeze up easily. So I just wore like the regular like maroon t-shirts and stuff. But middle school, however, we did have color coordinated uniforms. So 6th graders had black, 7th graders had gray, and then 8th graders had maroon.
What they did do though, which I kind of did like, I never really took too much advantage of it in high school at least, or in middle school. It was the first 3 days of the week, it was your uniform. Thursday, you could wear a college shirt of your choosing, any college shirt that you would like. And then Fridays, any spirit shirt. So if you were in band, a choir, any like extracurricular activities, any sort, you could wear a shirt from then, and it was totally allowed. So at least they were lenient in that department to where like at least you had some freedom 2 days out of the week to you could wear whatever you wanted, since Fridays are the days for football games, so you could wear like your jerseys, and they had the pep rallies. So sometimes the class, like let's say the sophomores coordinated for something to do at the pep rally and then needed to change shirts or have a specific shirt, they would do it. So it was at least they had some liberty. I'm not gonna say a lot, but it's not like you could just, for some reason though, they were like you can't that you were allowed to overdress. Like there was a guy who would come in like a suit sometimes. Like he would in a blazer.
We had one of those guys
in a blazer, button up, and khakis with the cap like this, the fedora ones.
Oh no, he wouldn't wear the
Not a
cap.
fedora, but the cap like this, the one that hangs over.
Yeah.
He would overdress, and it was allowed because for some reason you could overdress, but you couldn't underdress. Like you could be extremely professional if you did not want to use an uniform, and he just rolled with it. Like he was like a grade above me, and he always did it.
No, this dude wouldn't wear the fedora, but he would come in like a friggin' suit and tie and shit to school sometimes.
Yeah.
And we always thought he was like one of the best dressed dudes, pretty chill. He ended up getting arrested.
For?
Actions with an underage
Oh,
person
no, gosh darn
in a
it.
Dillard's dressing room.
What the heck?
I was like, of course it's a Dillard's. That's where he gets all his freaking clothes, probably.
Probably, yeah.
I was like, bro, no, what the hell?
You ruined it. You were the guy.
You were that guy.
You were the guy.
No, but most of the people I went to high school with ended up getting arrested.
Gosh darn it.
It's so fucking funny.
It was kind of funny. There's like some musicians that are in the group that I'm in that they were ranking like in ghetto standards from least ghetto to most ghetto, like for the high schools in your school district, like your high school district.
Was my high school the most ghetto?
They were saying that apparently the high school that you went to was they weren't the rich kids, but they were the kids with like, compared to everybody else, the ones with actual money.
Oh yeah, dude. Everybody would like buy a bunch of like high school swag and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just there like,
Yeah, like
I can't afford this shit.
like that. Apparently, everyone else, like like your high school compared to everybody else, just in that comparison, you all were the rich kids in comparison.
We're also the most ghetto out of all those,
Yeah.
honestly. Because knowing the district, we had like a whole thing going on. I mentioned this on the podcast before, I think, where we had this thing where one school was where all the potheads are, the others where all the fights happen, and then another one was where all the ghetto ones are, and then the last one is where all the immigrants are. We had that thing in our district,
Yeah.
and so ours was the most ghetto, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. The majority of the people here are probably gonna get arrested, and sure enough, I called it. There was a really popular dude who was also on the football team, one of the best football players in our team, which doesn't say much because our team kind of sucked.
No.
But he got arrested, like I think last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny. I just look at the thing, the report saying what he did. I'm like,
Yeah.
of all things, this.
Well, what did he do?
Assault on a female.
God dang
Yep. Yeah. I was like, that's what a lot of people actually
Yeah.
got in jail for was, like assaulting a female. Not like in the, like, ass assault type
Yeah,
thing. It's just
yeah.
actual like hitting. And I'm like,
it. That's terrible.
what?
Don't hit people, please.
No.
Don't hit people. That's not
No,
right.
That's not.
I remember. I mean, I think I was out of town when our school put out that report that they caught one of the professors who was threatening to like hurt people in the school, like through a shooting or something.
Oh yeah, was that the one that happened like a few weeks ago?
Yeah, a few weeks ago. I think I was out of town when it happened, and I saw I saw that our school put out an email saying like, "Hey, we got the guy, and this is what he was trying to do. Don't worry, we got him. He's fired, and now he's facing charges or something like
Yeah,
that."
that was like what 2 weeks ago or
No,
something.
2 or 3 weeks ago, but
It was at the one where I was hosting with the other three.
yeah. Because I mean, and I was like, I think y'all mentioned it.
Yeah, we
about-
did.
yeah, that was crazy. 'Cause I didn't even get to like. I saw the news like because that they put out, and I was just like, I hope everybody's okay, because like. I honestly I would never expected it to happen in our school. Like it's such a chill place.
Yeah.
There's no reason like why it would. I mean, I know sadly there's a lot of stuff that happens around the campus, and that one would not expect for it to happen. Like
That's why there's like buttons there for whenever
I
you're
know,
a lady
yeah.
walking alone at night and stuff.
Yeah, because every once in a while, like the campus police will put out reports and say like, have you seen this person, or there's reports of this guy that this happened, or this person did this.
A lot of times it's at the Brownsville campus though.
Yeah, or like that. Remember one of the very first episodes that I explained that there was a security that walked up to us while we were on the ledge, near the ledge
Oh,
of one of the
yeah.
second floors, and he
When
was like,
thought we were like not students or something like that.
no, well, the thing was he walked up and he was just like, because a few of my friends, they were walking like on top of a ledge, and the ledge is like thick, so you could just walk on
this
it.
is a different time than now.
Yeah. And he said, I need to get your info, referring to the people that were walking on it, because he said, you're not in trouble or anything, just don't do that again. And the reason I'm trying to get your info is that, we've found a body here in this campus before. So we need a possible identification if, the worst were to happen.
I like how when you brought up the story, you're like, yeah, we found a body here. And then my dumb ass just was like, that's going in the meme compilation. Let's go.
I know, but it's like, I don't
meme
think...
compilation #1 if you guys want to check it out.
But I guess to see the one that Cody said, I think this one time it was him, my girlfriend, and myself.
Yeah.
We're riding our scooters around the university, and this security guard on a bicycle walks up to us and asks for us to show him he asks our age.
Our age first, and then our university IDs.
Yeah, because he didn't believe that we went to this university, so we all pulled out our university IDs.
He said y'all look young. You look the oldest out of us, he said, but that I looked like the youngest.
Yeah, he believed that we were like 16, 15, just riding scooters in a random university, but when we're students there.
Yeah.
And adults. We were like 21, weren't we? Like 21.
No, 20 or 21.
Yeah, well, we were
I think
still
we
like
were
20.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were 20 at the time.
That was a while back.
That
it was freaking funny though.
3 years
like
ago.
out of the, you would at least, because I remember I've had a friend who he needed to fix his bike so it wouldn't move. So what he did is that when it broke, it was in the school, so he latched it with a lock to a bike rack that is in the university, and it was still like there because he had nowhere to put it when it was broken. So he just left it there. And this one time we're walking like across. We're walking across the university to get to the other side of the street to go eat. And we pass by it, and he makes sure that the lock still works. He unlocks it and then locks it back. But because he did that, there was a security on the other side of the parking lot that saw it. And to him, it seemed suspicious, so he literally drove up. And he was like, hey, what are you doing with that bike? And my friend at the time is just like, it's my bike. He's like, prove it. Goes up, puts the combination, unlatches it, and then he just looks at the cop, and he's just like, all right. Pulls up the window and then just leaves. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. Speaking of, like, going back to the age thing, I forgot, like, how, I think this was like a week ago, probably.
A week ago.
A week or so. I think you were back in town by then.
Mm-hmm.
It was when your girl was with you, so she asked me to get her, like, a buzz ball or something.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was with you at, like, a practice or something.
Yeah,
like
what about it?
that. So as I'm in the liquor store getting,
Yeah.
like, the 2 buzz balls that she wanted and getting something for myself,
Mm-hmm.
some dude just pulls up next to me, like, just walks over and he's like, you look way too young to be in here, sir. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I keep my ID on me.
Like just some random dude or
Just some
someone
random guy. He's like, you look way too young to be in here. Why are you in here? I'm like, just because I'm looking for stuff. That's why I always carry my ID on me. I know.
And what did he say?
He just didn't say anything after that. I'm like, yeah, that's why I keep my ID on me.
Some people like to assume.
And then the employee looks at me and like, and she was really nice. She was like, hey, so are you looking for anything in particular, or are you just looking around? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just looking around and stuff. It's like, okay, well, if you need anything, just let me know. I was getting the buzz balls.
Yeah.
And getting like this is when I got the fireball.
Mm-hmm. No, when
It was that night where I drank like half the bottle.
When my trumpet section got our professor a bottle for his Marine Corps birthday. For his birthday, I go to the liquor store, and a friend of mine gave me half of the money, and I pitched in my half of the money. I walk in, I ask the lady on the counter for the specific bottle because I couldn't find it, and she points it out. It happened to be there. It was great, cool. She's beep, puts it in the brown bag, passes it over. And I'm like already ready for my ID. I'm about to pull it out. She's like, "Oh, you're good, sugar." And I was just like, "Okay." So I just walked out. I was like, but it came to a shock to me because like with a mask, people just naturally look younger because that place like required you to wear a mask as you walked in, and so usually you look a little younger. And sometimes people mistake me for being younger than I really look. But now with like the facial hair, whatever, like I look my age now. Mm-hmm. So I just had it ready just in case. But I was just shocked that she was just like, "Oh, you're good." And I guess that now I look my age now, so I don't gotta worry about it.
Yeah.
You're like, must be nice.
Yeah, must be nice.
Must be nice. I want to be like you, my boy. Must be nice.
Yeah. But no, as I'm getting like the fireball and everything, she just comes over like, "Oh yeah, I can hold this for you, so you can look around a bit." I'm like, "You sure?" She's like, "Yeah." So she takes it out of my hands, takes it to the counter. I'm like, "Do I want anything else?" Nah. I just grab the fireball, and I take it to the counter, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Is this gonna be it?" Yeah. I give her my ID. She's like, "Okay, cool." And then, and I head out. That was so freaking funny though. Hey, yo, you look way too young to be in here, man. Why are you in here? I'm like, "Cause I'm looking for stuff. I always carry my ID on me."
People
This
are
dude just
dumb.
blurts out randomly. I'm like, okay.
People need to mind their own business. I get it when someone has good intentions, but if they're not speaking to help, then they need to mind their own business. Like,
Yeah, he had that same type of like, I guess, vocal tone
Yeah.
as other players on the field against me do when
Yeah.
they talk about my size.
yeah,
So I'm like, okay, I can play along. And then I kind of joked around, like kind of in a laughing tone.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, all right, and I was like, and
that's
what's-
the best
what's
response to say. Like, you can see my ID. What's it to ya? It's like that
I was
SpongeBob
like-
episode is like, Mister, what's it to ya?
Yeah. I was like tempted to get because I used to watch, as bad as it may sound, I used to watch Vampire Diaries with my mom,
Mm-hmm.
and they had the whiskey there at the liquor store.
Like Vampire Diaries whiskey.
It was literally like under, like labeled, like it was a certain brand of whiskey. It wasn't
Mhm.
called Vampire Diaries whiskey.
Okay.
But like there was like a note on there that said Vampire Diaries whiskey, and it was right there.
Oh.
I'm like, this is the whiskey from the show. I'm not gonna take a chance on it just yet. I'm gonna go with the Fireball or like a wine.
You
or
should
something.
totally take it to your mom's and just be like, Mom, I got it.
I got it. But no, I kind of wanted to try it, but I'm like, nah. And then I forget, because to me, Fireball is just Fireball.
Yeah.
I never really like cared about what it was.
Yeah.
But I look and it's like, oh, it's cinnamon whiskey. All right, bet. I'm gonna try whiskey next time. Hell yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, that's what it is. Fireball is cinnamon whiskey.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Or like Mark said, non-branded cinnamon whiskey as a take my shot for the Five Nights at F Boys series.
Yeah. I remember Breeze was like, hey yo, I might want to try some. So she smells and she's like, it's very cinnamony. I'm like, yeah, it's
Cinnamon whiskey.
She's like, oh, okay, then never mind. I don't really like cinnamon. I'm like, okay.
It's like, wait, hold up.
All right.
That doesn't
It's
make
more
sense.
for me, I guess.
Have you heard the people who have trouble saying cinnamon?
Cinnamon.
Anemone. Anemone.
Nemo.
Anemone.
Anytime I hear somebody try to say cinnamon and they can't, I'm just like, anemone.
I was
And they're like, shut up.
yeah.
It's great.
What surprises me though is like how many people don't know that
Worcestershire
Whataburger
sauce.
no that Whataburger sells cinnamon rolls, hot and toasty cinnamon
People
rolls.
don't know that.
So when I tell people about it, they always give me the same reaction. Cinnamon rolls from Whataburger? I was like, yeah, they have cinnamon rolls. All you do is walk up, ask for it. It's like $1 or something. It's so cheap and it's huge. It's like this big, and then they'll heat it up for you, like at Subway, where it's like, you want it fresh or toasted? This time they don't even ask you. They're like, we're toasting it, and here you go.
Toasty.
It's freaking good. It's like it's fresh off of like being heated. It just melts in your mouth. Oh my gosh,
remember-
freaking amazing.
I remember the chick I'm talking to right now. I
Yeah.
was telling her, hey, yo, I'm getting a Dr. Pepper shake from Whataburger.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, Dr. Pepper shake? What the heck? I'm like, yeah, they have Dr. Pepper shakes. You didn't know that?
It's the same thing as a root beer float. It's
the
just a
exact
different
same thing-
flavor.
It's the same thing that they have over in Chicago. Yeah, there's a Whataburger in Chicago.
Nice.
And
Well, it's a
it's-
different chain, ain't it? The different chain.
No, it's the exact same Whataburger thing.
What?
It's just that Chicago now owns part of Whataburger, so there's Whataburger over there.
Nice.
This was back when every Texan was like, no, it's our thing, damn it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, there's one like a few miles outside of Texas, so they can't really
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah. When I told her, she's like, what the heck? Why Dr. Pepper shake? I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm just feeling it today.
I just want it.
I just want it. I love Dr. Pepper. Like, Dr. Pepper is like
Every time I go, they're always like, oh yeah, we're out of shakes. I'm like, why?
I don't know. Like,
Why?
Because it's just like McDonald's when they're like their ice cream machines out of
No,
order.
the funny thing is, anytime I go to McDonald's, they're always like, oh yeah, we can make you a McFlurry, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. I go to friggin' Whataburger. They don't got shit ever. It's like the freaking ice cream brownie at Yasuke.
Yeah.
They never freaking have
No,
it.
well, that's because it runs out fast. But for me, like when I get a Dr. Pepper, I always expect that nice flavor. But lately, in the past like 2 months and a half, like I would say like past like since the year started, basically, every time I go to like a place or we go out to eat, the Dr Pepper, it's a gamble because most of the time it's missing some of the syrup, so it's a little flat, just slightly. Rarely is it perfect, and sometimes, sadly, more than I would want it to be, it's so flat that I have to ask for something else,
Yeah.
and it hurts because it's my favorite soda. It's
I think
Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is second to that.
I think that happened when you were visiting the old restaurant I used to work at.
Yeah.
When you got a Dr Pepper, and you're like, nah, yeah, man, changes it out. It's flat. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was bad. I was just like, why? Not my Dr. Pepper.
Not my Dr. Beepus.
Dr. Beepus. Yeah, because for me, it's like top soda, Dr. Pepper. Second, Mountain Dew. I don't think I
like
have a
when-
third, but that's my top two.
I like when people ask, hey, yo, do you have Big Red? I'm like, what restaurant has
People
Big
do
Red?
ask that a lot.
Like, what restaurant has Big Red? Down, like, on this street.
I can't picture. Well, there's some restaurants
There's
that do
some
have Big
restaurants
Red.
that have Big
But
Red, yeah.
I don't imagine, like, drinking Big Red while you're eating tacos, of all things.
Big Red.
I can picture myself drinking in a cup of horchata.
Oh, yes, the dirty rice water.
Yes. Cody, I have a question for you.
Rice water.
Okay, so what is sake made out of?
I haven't researched sake.
It's fermented rice.
Is it now?
Does that mean
So
that's
just-
no? Does that mean that sake is just spiked horchata? Because horchata is made from rice.
One is rice water, the other is riced alcohol. One is clear, the other is milky. No, the weird thing is too. Okay, so this is one thing I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime somebody like there was this one lesbian couple that walked in, you could easily tell. Trust me, you could.
I think I
easily
know which
tell.
one. They usually leave a good tip.
They asked for melon, like the agua de melon. I bring it
Yeah.
to them. They're like, "This is horchata." I'm like, "No, it's not." Taste
Yeah,
it."
because it's very,
This-
it's very.
this
It
is
had,
horchata.
it had the light color.
And then they're like, "No," they're like, "No, this is horchata." I'm like, "All right, let me go change it out." I throw it out in the back. I go, and they're
Pour
at
it.
table 20.
Yeah,
So as I'm doing it, I'm looking at them like
yeah.
staring at them, looking
Yeah.
back. Here, try it. And it's the exact same color. And they're like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Well, because sometimes
I
people
was
just
like-
won't believe you until they try it. I'm surprised they didn't even bother to
They
try
didn't
it.
even bother to try. They're like, "No, this is horchata. I want agua de melon." I'm like,
They wasted a good glass. You should have just kept it.
and then so they come back. They're
Yeah.
at one of the booths now.
Uh-huh.
I bring them the agua de melon.
Uh-huh.
Then and they had a new person there, like one of their friends.
Yeah.
She's like, "This is horchata." And then the lesbian, there was the chick that's there, the really butch looking one.
Mm-hmm.
She tells her, "No, that's the melon. It just looks really." I'm like, "Thank you. You explained it for me."
Yeah, cause
Fucking
it just depends who makes it. Most of the time, it looks really light. It's authentic.
It's really light,
and it's good. It tastes
Like
good.
in the dispenser, it looks like orange. It
yeah,
doesn't look white
it
at all,
does
but when
look orange. But when it comes out, it does have that hint of like a whitish to it.
it's really white.
Yeah, the melon
Just-
and horchata.
It's as white as you are in The Sims.
Oh,
Yeah, I was playing Sims last night. It was great.
dude, I remember
I finally
First-
got it on my PC.
you finally got it.
Like I had The Sims. I had a bunch of expansion packs and stuff packs on there. I just never transferred over to my PC because I'm like, okay, which login was it? Was it this email or was it the other email?
What did,
I logged in last night and I got the right one on the first try. I'm like, yes, I downloaded everything.
wouldn't like people do like storytelling on through Sims? Like they would do the
There's
voice
some people
acting.
that would do that. Yeah.
Like they would just use the models and like the buildings to tell the story visually, but they're doing voice acting over.
I'm pretty sure there's people who have done that. I've never seen that.
What's it called? Like Machinima, basically Machinima. The Machinima.
I never really
you-
watched Machinima back in the day.
Well, I didn't, but they were, a lot of it was
the
like
only
video game
Machinima
skits.
stuff I watched was the like, oh, this character versus this
Yeah,
character.
stuff
on
like
Bad
that.
in the Sun.
Yeah, but I guess what they mean is like the character, like you use the character as a puppet to do what you want, and then you create a story. Obviously, I think The Sims was more like down to earth, either comedy or down to earth like dramas.
Unless you get the good mods, then you
Yeah.
can do murder. Cause I have the murder mods.
Oh,
I have the newest one where now they added like you can throw a helicopter at someone.
you can say whatever you want, but for me, the best mod is putting Thomas the Tank Engine in Skyrim.
Yeah. I want to play Skyrim or like the original one first before I add mods to it. And I want to experience it and then I want to mess with it.
I've started so many playthroughs with Skyrim and I still haven't finished.
We need to finish the dig one. We need to reboot One Where's Us too, because Carlos is now older.
I know.
In the freaking wherever the hell he is.
He's like
Let's
about an
not
hour. He's
dox
about
him.
an hour that way. About
Yeah.
an hour, somewhere that way. But we could totally start that over. It'd be freaking fun.
I would love to start that over.
Skyrim.
I wanted to do the Halo Reach one,
Yeah.
and so because of like the way it got corrupted, I had to record it for a second time already.
Well, now you have a proper PC to do it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this one, the one that
'Cause
we're using right
first
now.
the PC we're using right now, that file was bad because the video kept pausing every 30 seconds, and it would stay paused for like another 15 minutes and then unpause for 30 seconds. The one that I just recorded not that long, like a month or two ago, like a few months ago, I think, that one was an MPK or something like that file.
Some
And I
kind
tried,
of file.
it was MKV, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I had to change that one over to an MOV or like an MP4.
Yeah.
And in the process of changing it, it got corrupted, and I changed it back to see if I could get the original. It was just gone. I
Dang.
was like, dang it, I gotta record it for a third time. I know Carlos really wanted to do the Halo Reach thing, but he just hasn't gotten to it, so I decided to do
I
it.
know.
I want to do I want to record one of our Halo Infinite sessions,
Yeah.
and then just have everybody record their own thing,
And then just compile the best moments of
send
it.
it to me,
Yeah.
and then from each perspective, you could see a certain moment.
The stupidest stuff.
Yeah. Like the freaking din, 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 din from the phone. As soon as you turn it, there's a guy right there gonna kill you. Exactly. Or as soon as you get gravity hammer, just adding the Taco Bell sound to it. Bang. I want to do a meme thing with
Yeah.
Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
I really do. That's why I got the Cat Ears one in the 1st
Mhm.
place. But we just haven't gone around to it. I think during the summer would be the
Yeah.
time to do it.
Well, even then, it's been nice having a podcast with just us two. It's been a hot minute. The comedy,
Yeah.
it's pure trash, but it's great.
It's always been at least one or the other, never
Yeah.
us two.
been
All this semester, basically.
Yeah, it's been just. I'm sorry. It's been a lot of. It's been a big trade off for the
it
past couple
has.
weeks or months, I guess.
And then the one day that I did have free because
Yeah.
of the practices and stuff, I ended up not having free because of this team's practice.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. Actually, speaking of practice, yesterday's practice, I basically had to become a leader on the team. It was bad.
Dang.
Because we had people finally show up
Yeah.
after not showing up
Yeah.
for the longest time.
Yeah.
But only because now it's playoffs. They're like, oh, okay, now we're gonna show up, and we don't know shit. We don't know anything. I
Yeah.
can throw it. I'm a quarterback. Yeah, let's go. Throws it. Didn't even get to where it's supposed to be. I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn it. So last time I was just like, hey, yo, you get here. You get here. You do. I'm telling people what to freaking do.
Yeah.
And stuff. And then some dude collides with me at practice as I'm running my route, and I look at him. I'm like, what route did you have? What route did you have? And then he's like, I'm like, you had this number. You're supposed
Yeah.
I became a coach.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to become a coach. Interesting. The hell? Huh.
What the heck?
What the heck was that?
I don't know.
Interesting. Because the guys are upstairs.
I don't want to open that door.
Neither do I. We're recording this too, so this is evidence. Fucking hell, dude.
You want to check on the window? Just the window or the peephole.
Yeah, I'll check. Ladies and gentlemen, we might die tonight.
Oh no! What the heck is going on?
Watch it just be breaking a lot of your casing by someone else.
Probably.
I don't see anybody there.
Check the peephole.
Nope. Don't see anybody.
What the heck? Ladies and gentlemen, I might have just pooped my pants. And that's
Why
not
did you
fun.
Shit yourself.
You felt it too,
I didn't shit myself though.
but you still jumped.
I was like, all right, because earlier,
Yeah.
somebody knocked on the door when I was down here.
Really?
Yeah, and I didn't see anybody through the peephole. And then I'm like, there was a soft knock. I'm just gonna see what it is. All of my introvertedness was telling me, no, don't open the door because I don't like talking to people.
Yeah.
And what if it's like a package or something? I'm like, did somebody order a package or whatever? I opened it. It was Angel.
Mm-hmm.
He came in bringing stuff for Freddie. I'm like, huh, interesting. But that was something.
That was something.
Fucking hell, dude.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, while we face our final end in this podcast because we're about to like get punched or something, I don't know. Hey, Bianca, sauce.
Sauce?
Oh, I think we just got pranked.
Probably.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the CodeO-cast. Hope you had a fun time. The crew is alive somehow, and we ain't stopping. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of the CodeO-cast. Excuse me while I finish having my panic attack.
Excuse him while he finishes shitting himself.